And hello. Welcome to another episode of the Flagship podcast. I'm very excited today because today I get to spend some time with Jaclyn Chadburn, correct? Am I saying it right? Yes. She is the co-owner and the CFO of Twister's Soda Bar in Pendleton, Indiana. So welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. For the audience, maybe a lot of the people listening don't know much about you, don't know your story, don't know what Twisters is. So I'll throw it into your ball court and tell us a little bit about what you do, why you do it, and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, so we've actually been in business about a year and a half.
Okay.
It started out with Kelly and I were talking about doing a lemonade.
Who's Kelly?
Kelly is my co-owner, co-founder,
Okay.
CEO of Twisters.
Awesome.
So we were friends. And our boys were going to do a lemonade stand. So we started with a lemonade stand. And she knows about these popular drinks on TikTok and back west, right? Where you mix sodas with cream or syrup or fruit or candy. And she loves them and made them at home. And I knew about them because I'm from back west.
Where back
in
west?
Utah.
Utah, okay.
I'm from Utah. So I had always thought Pendleton would be such a cute place to have a soda shop. And after we did the lemonade stand, I'm like, we should really do the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that's crazy. I'm like, no, let's just try it. Let's just see what happens. I think it would be really fun. So within 4 weeks, we put our branding together, our menu together, and it has stuck, right? Our branding looks
startup.
great. Yep. And so we did the farmer's market with a broken tent, cans of soda, and Chick-fil-A Pebble Ice.
There we go. They got to have the Chick-fil-A ice.
I was really adamant that we did Chick-fil-A ice.
I don't know if you know, I did work for Chick-fil-A for years.
I did not know that.
So I have a special place in my heart with them.
We have that ice at our store. So
that's awesome.
We did the farmer's market, and during that time, people are like, what is this? And they weren't really convinced that would be good. But once they tried it, they're like, oh, this is great. Where's your store? Like, this is our store. The farmer's market is our store. So we finished out the rest of the season. We only started halfway through the summer. So we started in August of 2022.
Okay.
And we went through the beginning of October. So we really did it like 6 weeks, the farmer's market. I really started pushing doing events, trying to get our name out into the schools and other places that would just be a great marketing opportunity. And so we started doing like band events, choir events, cheer events in Pendleton. And we just kept pushing.
You were just hustling.
Forward. Yeah. We ended up going to Mystic Waters. On the weekends, they would allow us to come and set up in their bar, which was awesome. So we really appreciate Mystic Waters and helping us stay relevant.
Waters.
Yep. It's a great campground. And they let us stay relevant over the winter.
Yeah.
And
that is a challenge with a food business, especially a mobile food business. You got I work with a lot of food trucks, and a lot of them close up shop for the winter, or they go to Florida.
Yeah,
and so
I don't have that option. So
I wish I had that option.
Yeah, me too.
But
so just serendipitously, we got into this building that we're in now.
Yeah.
We signed our contract. So we were in Mystic Waters November, December, January. We signed our contract February. We opened our store in March.
You guys are wild.
We had to redo the whole inside.
You guys are wild.
Yeah, we're wild. And the outside, it was crazy. We just like plowed through that and got through it in like 5 weeks. And opened March 27th of 2023.
Wow.
So we'll have our birthday.
Coming up here
our
shortly.
Store birthday coming up next month or
Okay, I have so many questions because, I mean, that's a lightning fast launch.
Yes.
Like going from product conception to like selling the product, your full production, to then now you have a storefront, a brick and mortar.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to tell, because there's probably some entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. There's entrepreneurs listening. What drove you through? How'd you get that like momentum to just run with it so fast?
Kelly and I both have an amazing amount of energy.
Okay.
We both have an amazing amount of unique talents. We were moms. We know how to multitask. I'm a mom of four. I'm a mom of four. Kelly's a mom of two.
Okay, you guys had it.
yes. My youngest had gone to school, and so I was like, "What am I going to do with my time?" I had the time. I had the time and energy now, and so I just put everything into it. And Kelly did the same. And I think just us saying we're doing this no matter what.
Yeah,
it's going to happen no matter what. And we had great support from
you
our
bet
families.
On yourselves.
Yeah, we really did.
Okay.
And so it was just that tenacious attitude to just, we're going to do it no matter what. We're going to make it work no matter what.
So what's your number one selling product right now?
Oh, the Choco Straubs.
Choco Straubs. I can guess what that is, but I'll let you tell me.
So we have a cup that we have whole strawberries.
Okay,
and then,
whole strawberry.
Yeah, we have a layer of whipping cream on the bottom, and then 5 whole strawberries, and then chocolate fondue drizzled over the top, and then another layer of strawberries, another layer of fondue, and then people eat it, and it's so good. It
sounds incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really good.
I have yet to be able to head over to Twister, so I'm gonna have to come by and try one of these.
You're gonna have to come. Yeah. As far as drinks go, it's funny because we've had to pivot a lot, right? When we have this conceptual idea of this is what we want to do, and then we have to add more and do more and change. I mean, that's one of the things that I think helped us continue to grow and stay with the momentum, is that we were willing to change and do whatever we needed to stay relevant, to try new things, to do new things. We weren't afraid of trying things. And so for us, it was really like, let's try this, let's do this. If that doesn't work, we're going to try something else. Yeah. So Kelly is so creative. She's so good at making things fun. She makes an experience at the store. And I really credit that to her because she is so creative. She's always coming up with fun things for the menu. Yeah. And so that's why we work so well together, is she's like this front end, doing all these things, creating the experience. And I'm on the back end pushing all the time to make sure really cool. We're doing things are in order, things are moving forward so that we can grow. We want to grow.
Well, you said a lot of cool things right there. So I'm going to pick one first to start off with. Okay. You talked about experience, because something about building an experience rather than just selling a product is really intriguing to me. Again, I told you I worked at Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A very much did that for years. They built this customer experience that was unlike any other. Truett Cathy, the guy who started Chick-fil-A, his whole mentality, where he got it from, was he went to the Rockefeller Hotel, and he saw how the doorman treated every single person who walked in and out, whether or not they were a guest or they were just meeting somebody there. And he said, how can I take that mentality and put it in every single one of my restaurants? And that's sort of what he did. He wanted them to have a superior customer service, that it was as if they were walking into the Rockefeller Hotel. So talk to me about your guys' experience. Talk to me about how you have begun crafting it, what you want people to feel and experience when they come to Twisters.
Yeah, so when you come, because you're going to come,
I'm going
right?
to come.
You walk in and the building is just fun. It's playful. On the wall, we have a sign that says play, right? We have a foosball table for people to come and play. When you walk in, it was an old church, the building that we're in now. So we redid it.
Where in Pendleton are you guys at?
It's on Engle Road. It's next to Pizza King, just south of the high school. It's on a little side road off 67.
I know where the high school is.
Right off 67. And so we redid this church. We kept the church pews along the outside edges so people could sit. And then we have cafe tables with chairs. We have pillows. We made it feel like an outdoor experience, but inside.
That's really cool.
So there's like awnings in there and stuff, but it's colorful, it's playful, it's fun, it's clean, it's welcoming. And so when people walk in, it's, hi, how are you? Welcome. Have you been here before? Let me know if you have questions. I can give you suggestions. We are there to help them understand what they like and what they want, and for them to enjoy it. And so for me, I always did like the front end stuff when we did the farmers market. I was always the one taking orders. And so I have really wanted to emphasize that you treat each person like you would want to be treated walking into a store. You want to feel welcomed. You want to feel like, if I don't know how to order, I'm not going to feel embarrassed that I don't know how to order.
Ignored.
No. Yeah. And so I love making eye contact, telling our employees, like, look at people, say hello, be willing to put yourself out there first and welcome them in. And it just I feel like it really changes that dynamic when people come in and they don't know what to do or how to order. They feel more comfortable, like, oh, they're going to let me ask questions or try things out. And
it's sort of like you're co-creating something with your clients, with your customers. They come in, and it's not just an experience you've set up for them to then partake in. It's something that, for the experience to take place, they have to be willing to participate.
Yep.
That's a cool way to invite the customer in.
Yeah, and they get to create their own drink if they'd like to. They can be in that part of that process, but it's fun to see people come and try things.
Yeah.
And they come back and bring their friends. And those people come back and bring their friends. And we have school groups come in.
Yeah.
We have co-ops. We have church study Bible groups that have come in and they hang out. It's a safe place to be for the kids. It's a safe place to be for youth, for families. We have an outdoor space in the back that's
really cool.
We can rent out or just hang out back there. We have seating and
so you've created really a community hub.
Absolutely. I really had a vision that when we started it, that I wanted it to be a gathering place for people to come. Anyone can come. Families, friends, neighbors. You can come here, hang out as long as you want. Enjoy your drink, enjoy the company.
That's cool. Okay, so you had this experience, you have this vision. Now obviously you're executing on it very well. Like the community's like Twisters, everybody's about Twisters right now.
Thank you.
So you got some you got some cool stuff going on. So now rewind, because I don't want to forget this question, because you mentioned this, and being as creative as you guys are, you're wanting this experience, you seem to have this vision. Talk about change, because you mentioned it and you were willing to change, pivot, do these things. But a lot of creative people, a lot of creative entrepreneurs that I know, change means sort of like a giving up of an idea. Oh, I have to say goodbye to this to change and then create something new. But you're still sort of having to say goodbye to maybe your original vision to create something new. Tell me how you guys have engaged with change. How are you able to navigate that as a creative person?
Well, we just accepted that change was going to be part of it once we changed our menu like 4 times, right?
So it started with change.
It started with change, and it was funny because we have a really talented lady that helps us with our menu and our branding. She did our branding. Okay. It's beautiful. We love it. It says exactly what it is. You don't have to guess what we're serving, right? And so we just kept asking her to change the menu, add this, do this, change this, because we kept expanding our menu as people would ask for different drinks and to ask for different options. And so we're like, let's try it out. Let's do it. And that would really, that would just keep going. And so
that's a never ending.
Yeah. I was like, Kelly, stop changing the menu. Like how many, and she's just like, I have all these ideas. And I said, you know what? I got to accept that it is never going to stay the same. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I am glad to see it grow. Growth is change, and change is uncomfortable, and you have to let go of things in order to embrace better things. And so I've learned how to embrace the change. Kelly's so good at just like, let's try this, let's do this. And so I've just got on board, like, we're going to do this and we're going to make it work.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's good to learn that early on. There are many people who are too married to the idea of what their vision, whatever that is. And that doesn't mean that's bad, but yeah, to launch a business, especially at the rate you guys are doing it, you have to be willing to be flexible, sometimes give things up, sometimes completely pivot.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you guys have experienced that and sort of have just accepted this. The only thing that is consistent is change.
It's change. Absolutely.
and everybody hears that, but then living it is different.
It is so different. It is, but we're just always looking for things to do to make it more positive, more fun, more inclusive in any way. And we just have an amazing team of managers, and we call them treaters. The high school kids, they're our treaters. And then we have our shift managers that are incredible. And
how big is your team?
So we have 3 shift managers, and then we have 5 treaters.
Wow.
And so
a staff of 8 in a year.
Yes.
Not even a year. And you and Kelly.
Yes, and me and Kelly. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
We always have people asking, when are you hiring? I'm like, well, you got to follow us on social media. And we will be one day soon, because we have things in the works. But yeah, it is a great team. We have an awesome team. They are dedicated. I want them to feel like owners themselves. I want them to feel like this is a part of you too when you're here. So
how do you do that? Like, I think a bunch of business owners would love to know that secret. How do you get employees to buy into that vision, to feel like they are a part of that?
Okay, so something that's really fun is when Kelly and I are there, we allow the employees, if we're just feeling in the mood, like, try a drink. I want you to create something that you think would taste good, because something to me will taste different than to someone else. And so we've had some employees come up with some really great ideas, and we want them to be part of that creative process. We want them to be a part of that. Hey, what do you think about moving this over here, or changing this process, or changing this? And we allow them to give their input. And maybe we don't do that, but I want to hear, because it affects their lives too. Like, I make the change, but if they're not on board, they're not going to be happy about it. I want my employees to be so happy to come to work. We have our employees come back and hang out when they're not working. So we know that they love it there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So now you can choose what you want to share here.
Okay.
You said you have a vision of growth. You have a vision. Tell us a little bit about that vision.
Okay.
And you can hold whatever you want close.
I know.
Share what you want to share.
So we have 2 different locations we're looking at in the works, right? One will happen sooner than the other. One is not built yet.
Cool.
And so we're working on that one. The one is already built, and we are signing our lease this week. And so we are really excited.
Number 2.
Twisters number 2. Happy birthday to us in March, and maybe we'll have another
gift.
store to celebrate with. So
wow, that's incredible. So okay, so I don't want to just pass it over. 2 stores you guys are already getting ready to sign a lease for one. The other one's being built. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now in the first year, you've launched a brick and mortar from a farmer's market. You have now started a second location, or let's say in a week, and on to number 3.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We're always thinking like begin with the end in mind, right?
Sure.
Our goal is to have 8 stores. That was our goal when we started this.
Okay.
Like once we opened our store, Kelly and I were like, let's do 8 stores. Let's just do it. I mean,
why 8?
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but
it was just the number.
It was just like we could do that. We could do 8 stores.
Yeah.
It is very lofty. We realize it's a lot of work, and
it is.
And it's like you get into it and you think, oh, this store, I can do this store. There's so much more that goes into it.
There's a ton.
I have so much more respect for small business owners because it is your baby, and at the end of the day, it's yours to take care of.
Yeah.
But we really want to keep going forward as if we intend to have those 8 stores. So we are streamlining processes. We are trying to find the best way to do it so we can copycat those things onto other things. Every time we open a store, it's going to be a little bit easier. We've learned a lot of hard lessons in this store to apply to our other stores and locations.
So are you looking to just grow here in Indiana? Or are you looking to go outside of Indiana?
No, we're just looking to stay in Indiana. We love the Hoosier state. We love a lot of our menu names are very
Hoosier.
Okay. And so going outside of that, I don't think it would make a lot of sense to people. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But we love Indiana. So
do you know Handel's ice cream? Okay. So I'm from San Diego originally, and there was a Handel's ice cream out there. It was a line 2 blocks long all the time, every day, because it's summer every day in San Diego. It was like every day. There's just 2 blocks. I thought it was a San Diego thing. And then I come out here to the Midwest, and I'm like, there's a Handel's here? And then I find out it started here in the Midwest.
Over in Ohio.
So you never know. Yeah. So you never know who would be desiring Twisters and where they'd be desiring.
Yeah, I just want to make it the best business I can, right?
Yeah.
I want to give it my best and show people that I care about the community that we're in. Even though we're going to different locations, I want to have an impact in each community that we're in. I want it to be a gathering place. It's not just, we'll just do this and maybe change this and do this different. I want each place to have that sense of community and belonging. And we love to give back to the community too. We sponsor the athletics in the high school. We've sponsored things for different students, individuals, and band and cheer. And we've done a lot of things to support those who support us. And so we love giving back to the community because they're so supportive of us.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think where to take it. I have a few questions. Well, first, I'm going to switch topics now to more personal because you said you're from Utah. So how did you get out here to because like I know why I'm here from California. I don't like the weather. I mean, the weather's been miserable the past month. So I question it daily why I moved out here. And then I go home and see my wife and I'm like, that's why. That's
a good reminder of why you're here.
Yeah.
So actually, all my family is from Utah, and my husband's family is from Utah.
Okay.
Born and raised there. I had all my children in Utah. We moved to Indiana when my youngest was 4 weeks old. And so it was for my husband's job.
Okay.
He was working for IU, downtown IUPUI, the campus there. We just took a chance on a job. It was one of those, we don't know anyone or anything about Indiana. But we're going out there. And we're taking a chance on it.
Wow.
And so we did. And
how long have you guys been here?
We have been here 7.5 years.
Okay.
So going into it, it was just like, no matter if I'm miserable or happy, like I'm giving it 5 years. Like I'm going to put roots
We all
down,
put those timelines
right?
in.
Like I needed to like be committed to this process of we're moving and we're going to put roots down.
Yeah.
And so that really helped me embrace where I was and grow where I was. And my community, we actually lived in Avon before we moved to Pendleton. Okay. And so that community there was just amazing. There were just so many amazing women that became lifelong friends, taught me a lot about what I could do. And now I've moved to Pendleton and I'm doing things that I never thought I could do. So
yeah, how's that process been? Because I mean, you said you spent a big chunk of your career as a stay-at-home mom, and so then going from a stay-at-home mom, which is its own full-time job in its way, and going to now you're running a thriving business in a community that's become really a community hub and a place, a place, a safe place, as you've put it, that for people to connect, build relationship, for people to have their first jobs, to learn skill sets. And it seems even for you to explore who you are.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that process.
Just the process of, I went from being a school counselor in Utah. I had twins, and so I was pretty much forced to stay home. I had a 3-year-old, and then I had twins who, they're almost 12. Okay. So they taught me a lot about patience, right? Endurance. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But just going from like a career person to a mom, again, I was like, I'm going to be a mom and I'm just going to embrace this season of my life. Yeah. It was not hard it was really hard to embrace. Let me say that again. It was really hard to embrace because again, you're letting go of something that was part of you. You're changing, but I wanted to be deliberate in that choice. And then when I went through all of that, now my kids are all in school. Yeah. Again, it was like, I want to be deliberate in those choices that I'm making. And I was telling my kids, like, look what I can do outside of being your mom. Like, I'm a cool mom, but look what else I can do. And I think they have come to know me more as a person and as an individual. That's so important. You know, it is. I want to teach my kids, you can do whatever you want. You need a good support system. You need people behind you. And they still complain that I'm gone. They still love me. They still need me. And I need them. And I love being there to be their mom. Yeah. But like my son the other day texted me. He's like, all right, when are you going to be home from work? I said, I'm closing tonight. He's like, no. And I said, thank you for being so supportive, with the big smiley face. Like, oh, sorry, Mom, I forgot. So, you know, it's a learning curve for all of us. Totally. And we just really try our best to do what we can. And some days are harder than others. Some weeks are harder than others. But I'm trying to be where I am and embrace where I am, because it is going to change. Nothing ever stays the same in life, and kids grow up and things change. And I wanted to focus on what I could do. I know I have a lot of skills to offer and a lot of things that I can do, and I'm ready to do it. So yeah,
it seems like you have a special gifting of being able to, whatever's coming your way, being able to jump in fully. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people try to, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it, half-ass it.
You can say that, yeah.
My boss is going to get mad at me. But a lot of people try to go, like, just try to test the waters because it's safer to test the waters. But I think you're hitting on something so important that you sort of have to not just commit for the sake of whatever it is you're going towards, but also commit for the sake of yourself. Because being torn in two different directions is absolutely terrible.
It is.
So yeah, so it's really cool to see you going through that, because you've shared a few different things now that it seems like an opportunity presented itself, whether it was motherhood or whether it was Twisters or something else where it was just an opportunity to go fully in. Yeah. How do you navigate, or maybe you don't, so maybe I'm assuming, but how do you navigate maybe the fear that is attached to fully taking that risk?
Okay. I love Brene Brown.
Okay. Brene Brown's my girl.
I love her so much. Shout out to Brene Brown. I have learned so much about vulnerability and staying awkward, right? Like awkward. You got to be awkward. If you're not feeling awkward, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing, that's not a good place to be. Amen. And so I have learned so much about being vulnerable and how to just be who you are. You get what you get with me. This is me. I am the same person with each person you meet. That's who I am. And that's why I love about the store, is because I get to talk to people. I've made so many amazing friends. It's scary, right? Putting yourself out there and saying people are going to criticize or judge or say you should do it this way or do it differently or do it better.
Yeah.
And I just say, you know what? This is what I have. And I know it's something of worth and of value, and maybe someone won't see it the same way, but I know I do. And I can offer that to myself and my business and my business partner and my family, and that's all that really matters. I don't really care what other people think if they're not willing to be in the arena with me. So
I honestly think that's a big secret to life. And yeah, because I say it to my wife all the time, and she sort of like rolls her eyes at me, but I'm like, I really don't care what other people think, because it's not that I don't care about other people, but it's that I can't let their perception dictate my reality.
Right.
And yeah, it's really cool to see you fully, boldly living that out.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Yeah. I love people. I care about everyone.
Absolutely.
But it's that weight of how much do I give them that power over me hold me back or propel me forward. And so I really have to pick and choose what voices I'm listening to with other people and what they're saying and what they think I should do or not do. I have to really say, I know I can make these decisions. Yeah. I'm competent. I'm capable. And Kelly and I are good to just bounce those ideas off of each other.
You have that vulnerable safe space.
We can always talk about anything. And I think that really helps us. I feel like having a business partner like Kelly has really just, propelled us forward too, that we have each other. I could not have done this alone. And she could not have done this alone. And we say that all the time. I wouldn't and I couldn't do it without you. So we have a great partnership.
So who would be those, like, if you can narrow it down, maybe the 3 people that you would say these are the voices that have really helped you in this season, in the transition, and you sort of embracing that sort of that power that you're talking about?
Yeah. Definitely my sister.
Okay.
She empowers me. She reminds me. Oh, sorry. She reminds me, you are badass. Right?
Yeah.
When I say that, I might get in trouble.
It's okay. I'll take the blame.
She always says, remember, you're a boss lady. Like, you are a boss. You go in there and you be a boss.
Just your cheerleader.
Yeah,
she's in your corner.
She just cheers me on all the time. And I would say, just my husband and my kids, right? They're always like, Mom, you're doing great. They're that cheerleader. They're those little voices that always just remind me, like, at the end of the day, it's about family. It's about who surrounds you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of day we had with profits or sales.
Sure.
It's really important, but that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And I don't know. How do I narrow that down to a third person?
All right, you can leave it there if that feels better.
I'll just leave. I think that feels great.
Okay.
It feels good. I mean, and Kelly too. But
sure.
she's already part of the package.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's cool. It's, I grew up in a pretty broken family. And so like there are times I wish I had that opportunity to say, like, those are the voices in my life. But then I look at maybe I would say the voices that maybe God has brought into my life.
Oh, absolutely.
And, whether it's my wife, some of my best friends, my adopted brother, there are people that, thankfully, like, maybe I'll just say for those who are listening, maybe who are like, I don't have those voices. Maybe look a little deeper, like really think about who are those relationships. Maybe it isn't family. Maybe it is, relationships that God has brought in. There's a professor in college that used to tell me direction flows through relationships. If you can look at the relationships that are in your life, I can guess where you're heading.
Yeah. There's a lot of energy and momentum of where you're going to go with the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah. This has been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're so welcome.
For the audience, anybody listening, if you were to leave them with a charge, with a encouragement, or maybe with some words of wisdom, what would you want to tell maybe that aspiring entrepreneur, or maybe the mom who's in transition, or maybe a failing business owner?
Oh, man. I feel like I don't have a lot of experience or expertise to speak on that, but I would just say just do something, right? Yeah. Like, just try something. And if it doesn't work, there's something else. Like, there's something better for you. Like, we watched a show the other night, and it was 1923, like the Yellowstone saga, 1883. Anyway, and I love what she said. She said, God answers our prayers in 3 ways. Yes, not right now, or I have something better for you. And so that was just a reminder for me, like, if he doesn't say yes, he's got something better, or it's going to be later. So I would just say, put in the work, have the patience, and surround yourself with people that are going to cheer you on. So,
well, you heard her, folks. There's nothing really else to add. That was great. So, excuse me. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you again so much. Hey, go visit Twisters. I'm going to go do the same. I'm going to go get, what is it called? A Choco Straubs. Yeah, I don't speak this Gen Z lingo. I can't say it right. But thank you all for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next. Oh, wait, hold on. I can't end it there. The one thing I didn't say is Jaclyn here and Twisters is one of our 2024 pitch finalists. So she'll be pitching here soon. I don't want to say a date because, people will hear that later. But anyway, I should have mentioned that earlier. See, this is really not professional in me. So.
That's all right.
But yeah, they are one of our finalists. And so you'll get to hear more about their expansion, the 8 locations that they are envisioning in the future. And so a lot of good things coming down the way. But we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for listening to the Flagship podcast, sponsored by Pinnacle Systems. Visit our YouTube channel for the full-length video podcast, or find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. New podcasts are posted every month, featuring local leaders from Central Indiana. For more content, follow us on social media at Flagship Enterprise Center. Until next time, thanks for listening.